Hi, I've started to put together some of the sentences that you had to for the assignment that was due on the 28th. And I know that the assignment, your comments are due tonight, but what I have here in the first three sentences here that we had to do, or combinations you had to do, are some ways that you can combine these sentences together. If you have your book open to 101, you can follow along there, so I'll kind of pause a second so you can get your book and open it to page 101. While you're doing that, I apologize. I'm very tired today. I didn't sleep well and I have a terrible cold, so if you hear me sniffing or let out a sigh, it's not at the assignment but at my depleted condition. Okay, you should have your book by now. And the first two sentences that I combined up here were English have always embraced, and it was queens. Excuse me, I don't have an S there. And the second sentence was their embrace extends from Queen Elizabeth I, and notice the same word, embrace, and there refers to English. Embrace is the same idea as here, so I'm just going to delete, excuse me, I'm sniffing, their embrace extends, so that's what I deleted, okay? Then, in the next sentence set, what I did was I said, or the next sentence is number 3, and that nothing has to happen to that. So in 4, 5, and 6, I wrote, she married Prince Charles in 1981 as an awkward teenager who was a fairy tale princess with a cloud of hair dripping in her eyes. Now what I have done there is, what I took out was she married Prince Charles, and at that, I can't even spell today, time she was an awkward teenager, and I got rid of all those words by using as. And then the next sentence was, she was a fairy tale princess with a cloud of hair dripping from her eyes. And I knew that, I figured it was too awkward to try to use a prepositional phrase or an infinitive phrase, so I resorted to a relative clause here to add that last sentence, because she was a fairy tale princess relates to Diana, so that relates to her being a fairy tale princess. The next one, it just was the press thought, and whenever in the book they have like a this, what they want you to do is find something. So all I did was take the second sentence there, which was she would grow into a beautiful princess, and again I created not a relative clause at this point, but a dependent clause. Okay, let's move on. She became a symbol of beauty and glamour and chic motherhood. I never thought motherhood was chic. Anyway, this happened between 1981 to 1997. That's when I was raising my kids too. Okay, this happened refers to this. So why don't we just get rid of this and create a prepositional phrase? Now I hope you're noticing that I am not using commas when I am making these prepositional phrases. As long as they're at the end of the sentence, you do not need the comma. Remember that we always have a subject and a verb. That's the natural order of a sentence. And if we start putting things at the end of the sentence, like prep phrases, we're fine. It's when we take this prep phrase and move it to the beginning that we gotta have the comma, okay? Okay, now let's go to the next one. Which is the royal family. They were the villains in this story, weren't they? Wanted her to act like okay. I make mistakes, that's why I have to proofread too. They wanted her to act prim and proper, a bit stodgy. Okay, let's spell. Okay. Okay, what's repeated? The royal family and they. So they refers to the royal family, and then we've got wanted her. I think the easiest way is to say, is to create a positive. And positives always take commas, and we've got British Royal, and we're restating what a British Royal is. Prim and proper, a bit stodgy. Notice how I'm also using other constructions that we have done. You can also combine these sentences that I'm showing you in lots of different ways. Instead, she remained a lively, down-to-earth, young woman. Well, that's what she was when they got married, what the royals expect. She was likely to be photographed in jeans, taking her sons to McDonald's. You know, I took my sons to McDonald's, and I'll tell you, I probably shouldn't have. Anyway, they don't go there now, which is a good thing. Okay. Instead, she remained a lively, down-to-earth woman. She was likely to be photographed in jeans, taking her sons to McDonald's. What do we do here? Oh, I could simply make a compound sentence. Instead, she remained a lively young woman, and she was likely to be photographed, blah, blah, blah. But that doesn't relate the ideas together. So, she was a down-to-earth young woman. I'm going to use another positive. Okay, let's get likely up there on the other low. Boop, boop. Likely to be photographed in jeans, taking her sons to McDonald's. Okay. I don't think that really needed a infinitive phrase or part phrase. And we're on to the next page. We're almost done with this. Okay, and then number 15. She relates to this one, which I didn't. And it says to use just as, and I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go or in an evening gown. attending, and you can see the rest of that on page 102. The opera, I don't like that just as thing. I don't think it's very formal writing, so I'm not going to mess with that. Let's move this up so we can see more of it. Diana threw herself publicly into helping victims of illness and war. This happened after her divorce from Charles. I know he definitely wasn't a saint. So what we're going to do here, this is a real easy one, and I'm going to put the prepositional phrase in the beginning because it's right there and after her divorce from Charles. And so this happened, it refers to Diana threw herself publicly into helping. So it's Diana threw, I'm sorry, my cold's bad, herself publicly into helping the victims of illness and war. And the next one, as I said, was this happened after her divorce, so I'm just going to put after her divorce from Charles. I could relate to her too because I got a divorce not too long after she did. Okay. Okay, then the next sentences are she died in a tragic, and I remember that was awful, auto accident. I bet some of you don't remember this at all because you were just little babies like my kids were. Even babyer probably because my kids are in their 30s or late 20s now, almost 30. Okay. This is boring watching me type, isn't it? The whole thing's probably boring to you, but however, I think this will help you. She died in a tragic auto accident, and I'm going to put comma. Oops, I don't need the comma. Let's see if this works, because I didn't look this one ahead. I'm sorry, I did all the other ones ahead. Fleeing from the photographers, and I'm just going to use a relative clause here, who constantly intruded into her private life. And this happened again refers to, in the next set, 21 and 22 on page 102. This happened at death and as in life. She straddled the world where fairy tales come true and the world where children die of age. I just start again with in death as in life, comma, and then the rest of the sentence. Diana straddled the world, and I'm not going to type the rest of it, where fairy tale princesses come true, or fairy tales come true, and the world where children die of age. 23, we don't do anything with. She became this Queen of Hearts, and again, this happened, so all we have to do is, new sentence. But she became the Princess of Hearts for millions around the world. If you have questions about this, as always, please talk to me by email or text. I hope this helps you understand prepositional phrases a little bit. I didn't work with any infinitive phrases in here, basically, because I didn't see any place where we could put it easily. Maybe you guys did. I'll be reading the discussion board soon and find out. Don't get real upset about infinitive phrases. What they want you to do is to use an infinitive phrase as a noun, and that's difficult to do. So if we don't get to that this semester, don't worry about it. All of you take care. Don't catch a cold so you can enjoy this wonderful weather.